Hey all. Well, thanks for jumping in here. I picked up some cards over the last couple of weeks. I think. I guess most of them this week, but just stuff I'm excited to show you. A couple card shops that my son and I went to today, and then some other stuff that I got through the mail from different places. But I thought I'd show you some of these. I'm not going to show you everything I picked up from the card shop. So the card shop that I go to. One of them that I go to pretty frequently, every couple of months. He doesn't have a lot, but he does free packs on Saturdays, and so I like to take my kids in there and let them open up a pack of baseball cards. He has everything from like 88, 89, and then there's kind of this huge gap, and then he has newer stuff that's inexpensive packs, but there's a wall of them, and you can go take one and open it and take it home. So it's for everyone, kids and adults alike. You don't have to buy anything if you don't want to. But my son picked up an 88 tops pack, got himself a Kent Tecove, so that's pretty cool. I'll see if I can't trade it from him. We'll make a deal. But I was talking to him. I said, "Oh, I don't know what I should get," and he suggested I get a Stadium Club pack, so that's what I did. Thought I'd show a couple of those cards from that pack, just because I got a couple interesting cards. Um, Shout out to John over at Nerding Out with Cards. That is an Albert Pujols Stadium Club. It's the red variant. Very cool card. I love the Stadium Clubs. They have such nice images. There was a Frank Thomas in that pack as well. Pretty cool card. But then actually, as far as interesting was concerned, they had a Jose Altuve. So this is a 2022 pack, and it had this Jose Altuve in I think it's the 91 design, and that's a variant. And I don't know anything about these. All I know is that it was supposed to have 5 cards in the pack. It had 6, so I don't know if that's I don't I don't know. I don't open enough modern stuff to really know, but I'm assuming that's a kind of a big deal. I don't know, but kind of a cool card. Uh, and so anyway, so one thing he doesn't. So usually what I do is we go up there, we get a couple free packs, and I'll buy a couple of packs, or I'll buy some sleeves, or he's a top distributor, and he's got a lot of different cards. But today I didn't know he was doing this, but he had boxes on some of his counters that he's doing a 35 cents. So you can go in and get the cards for 35 cents, and or you can take 10 cards in and get 5 for free, which is kind of a cool thing. He's trying to do that to encourage kids to come in and swap out cards and get stuff. So we didn't know about it, so we hadn't taken any cards. But I did tell my son he could pick up a few dollars worth of cards. I picked up a few dollars worth of cards and made out pretty well. I'm not going to show you all of them. I thought I'd just show you a few. Again, there's a bunch of Stadium Club in there. So these were 35 cents, Star Joel and Bo Jackson. Here's an Ichiro. Uh, Stadium Club Chrome. Clemente. O'Neill Cruz. Andrew McCutcheon. So a couple of Pirates. One of those. Again, that cut, that's one of the Chrome ones. And I'm really not going to show you all these, but there were some. I picked up some Ricky Henderson cards. Pretty excited about that. That I did not have. Stan Musial and Banks and another Ricky Henderson from an Upper Deck set. Anyway, just some cool cards. Nothing, again, nothing major. He's not. He's We're not flipping these cards or anything. These will be for my personal collection. More exciting for me was actually, it may drive me back up there in a couple of weeks or a few weeks, is I stopped collecting cards, baseball cards in particular, in kind of the early 90s, early to mid 90s. And so for my Hall of Fame cards, I've been trying to get kind of Hall of Fame runs, and it's pretty easy to go to shows and work on your players, vintage players, because you can buy them, you can sort through the boxes, but really the only way to get tops cards of players who played in like kind of the years that I'm just kind of completely missing is either to go on eBay, and I don't really want to go on eBay and just buy a bunch of cards, or luck into a place like this. And again, I'm not going to show you all of them, but I got a pile of cards. I got some different players just of years that I would have just completely missed. Of course, Greg Maddux looks weird in the Padres gear, but some of these I might have. I might have that Frank Thomas. I might have that Frank Thomas, but I don't have that Frank Thomas playing for the A's, and Ricky and Ortiz. And I did pick up some 89. I'm almost certain I have the Ozzie Smith and the Kirby Puckett, but I don't think I had the Fred McGriff. I don't think I had the 87 Dawson. So anyway, a lot of kind of this era, like going into the early 2000s, that I just don't have. And so for 35 cents each, to be able to kind of add to my box and add to these runs of these players, just going to be, it was just fun. So we spent about 25 bucks, got a bunch of cards, me and my son, and just had a good time digging through boxes together. I can kind of get into that, and I enjoy doing that with my son. He seemed to enjoy digging through. He found a bunch of football cards. He was digging through those boxes while I was digging through the baseball. So he picked up a bunch of Steelers, but I'll let him start his own channel and he can show you those. After this, we went to a separate card shop that I had not been to before. It was one in a little bit further away, not a lot further. And sorry, I'm working on this light. My daughter gave me a ring light. She said, "Oh, you can use that to show your videos," and it seems to want to turn off. So anyway, but it's showing the cards up really well. Anyway, you didn't need to hear all that. So I went to this card shop, and he doesn't have a lot of vintage, but he gets it in once in a while. He had a few cards sitting in there, so I picked up some that I'm pretty excited about. I'm working on, kind of slowly working on the Louis Tiant run, and I got all of these. I got 3 more Louis Tiant cards, and those stickers say $3 each, but the box said 50% off. So I got those 3 for $4.50. Not all of these were half off, but got a Boog Powell. Shout out to Jay, Average Vintage Collector. I did not have a Boog Powell. And when I was looking to do my video the other day, where I was talking about my All-Star nominations, I didn't have a Boog. So I also didn't have a Veda Pinson that I could show for Rob, who's been picking up some Veda Pinsons. It's got that notorious print line at the top. Kind of annoying, but it's actually a great looking card. I mean, like, it's really sharp, nicely centered. Good looking card. Picked up an Eckersley that I did not have. One of his earlier cards. I have a decent number of Eckersley cards from later on, but this would be his second year, 77. Picked up this one with Hank Aaron and Ken Boyer and Bill White. Actually, I should shout out to John again. John Nerding Out with Cards had a video. Goodness, it may have been his last video. He's been off for a little while, but just because of work stuff, being out on the ship. But anyway, he was talking about Ken Boyer and how he was on a lot of these leaders cards, and here he is with Hank Aaron and Bill White on the 64 tops. And again, it says 8, but I got it for 4. Well, I guess it's just not going to work. You're going to have to deal with less light. The one I was probably the most excited about, I have 2 more, but was this one. To 54 Bowman, Larry Doby. There's no paper loss. You can kind of see if you work really hard and just hold this in the right light. You can see there's kind of a crease line across the back, but does not show up on the front. And you can see the price tag. And this was in the half off box. So I got a 54 Bowman Larry Doby for $5. I got to tell you, that would have had to have been in pretty bad shape for me not to pick up a 54 Bowman Adobe for $5. I was pretty pumped about that one. I was trying to explain to my son, it's like, that's kind of a big deal. I think he sells at shows and stuff, the guy was saying once in a while, but I don't know, he must not have had any luck. This one was not in the half price box, but I did not have a Hank Aaron when he played for the Braves. I have a couple of, I have his 75 and his 77, both when he's with the Brewers, which are nice cards. I really like them. 77 is his, or 76, not 77, 76, which is his final playing days card. But I had wanted to get one at least a little earlier when he's with the Braves. This, of course, is where he's most known as a Brave. But anyway, just very cool cards. Really excited about that. Like I said, he didn't have much in the way of vintage. I took a lot of the good ones, but really there were, if you were a Cleveland Indians fan, he had quite a few Cleveland Indian cards, and he had some other cards that were pretty nice, but just not for me for one reason or another. I did pick up some other cards. Just kind of picked this up on a Facebook sale. I think I paid $1 for this, maybe $2. Not much. Willie McCovey, Sporting News. Picked up my first Cons card of Vinegar Bend Mizell. The wiener the world awaited. This was my first Cons card. I showed this in a previous video. It's got some staining. It's got some damage. Just the way you like these cards, you know? If it's a Cons card and there's not some damage to it, I think you may have a fake. Pretty cool card. So I was glad to get that. I've wanted to get one, but wanted to start. I didn't want to get a big one necessarily right away, but wanted to get one where I could get some a Pittsburgh Pirate. So that was a cool one. I showed this one on a previous video as well, but just wanted to show it here, just because I'm pretty excited about getting this one. This is a '68 KDKA card of Manny Sanguian. So 68, that's his rookie year. I know people argue about what is and is not a rookie card. When I was a kid, if it was from his rookie year, it was a rookie card. That's just kind of the way that it went. 3 more cards to show you. 2 of them are, there we go, 2 of them are ones I've shown before. This one has been a while. I picked this one up a few months ago at a yard sale. This is the Heritage Archives. This is, of course, made to look like this 71, but has his auto on it. I showed this one, but that was in such a long video. Not many are watching that one, probably. But this is also an Archives, but of course this is a 1982 set, and it's numbered to 99. Again, has his signature on it. Pretty excited about that one. I love the 82 card of Sanguian. It's not my favorite of his, but it's near there because I love his smile. I love how happy he seems in that one. But I showed you those 2. I do have a reason for showing you those 2. I did something I'd never done before. 2 weeks ago today, I sent out a card through the mail. I did the TTM for Sanguian. I've never done this for anyone before. And I wanted my first one to be Sanguian. Honestly, I don't mean to sound morbid here, but when Ryan Sandberg passed away, and he was known for doing TTMs, I thought, man, I don't want to kick myself for waiting too long. And so I sent out, this is the 79 Topps, of course, a World Series winning year, his second ring. And so there you go. I think that looks pretty good. 3 Manny Sanguian signatures currently in my collection. Who knows, I might send something out to him again at some point. I just really enjoyed that. It was just kind of neat. I'd had kind of a rough beginning of the week this week, and really the whole week has been kind of bumpy, but my daughter sent me a text message and said, hey, did you mail yourself something? And I said, well, no, I guess, well, actually, yes, I did. And she sent a picture of it, and it's like, that's me. It's my handwriting on that envelope. And sure enough, I got home, was pretty excited about that. So that's it for today. Really nothing huge. None of this costs much. None of this was no big pickups, but just some pretty exciting things. Just enjoying the hobby right now. So thank you if you watched this this far. Appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.